Cut the music. Cut the music. Your boy is back. I ain't been on here in 4 weeks and a lot happened in 4 weeks. If you ain't know, you should already know. But I'm gonna go ahead and introduce myself. It's your boy, Bridges on top, Ron Bridges, pre-snap read. We here, we back. It's the new year, same me. I'm still the same person from last year. I ain't changed and I ain't gonna change. So that's what we got into it today. So I got a special guest, man. I got a special guest. Robin and Jerry couldn't be here today. Jerry really couldn't be here because his occupations lies at FAMU, so don't want to get in conflict with that. But I got a special guest, man. A lot of people know him, and a lot of people know of him. He's one of the people that I seek out guidance to. You know what I'm saying? The first time I heard him was on this platform. It was on Oscar. A lot of people know him as the person that cut the deacon. You can say the deacon. He also known on this channel. He's an FBI agent. He has a lot of jobs. Just know he has a lot of jobs. This dude hailed from Mississippi, but he went to FAMU. So, I got to give it up to my guy, the one and only, Mr. Campbell. What's up with you, man?
I'm on here finally with my nephew. See, y'all don't understand. See, this is special right here. This is my FAMU nephew. Mm-hmm. So, see, when my FAMU nephew called me and said, "Oh, hey, man, I need you to come on," I said, "Say less." On a Friday, man, ain't no problem. We're going to leave the Hennessy in the back. We ain't got to put that out just yet, even though, I don't drink anymore. But, man, listen. Man, I'm proud of you, and man, I'm proud of the things you do. And, like I say, again, you are a rattler, and, you call me, and I told you anytime you need me. So, look, man, we're just going to do a little rattler talk. It's going to be a little bit different. We ain't going to have no Southern folks or no Jackson State folks or no folks that don't know about the stuff. You know what I mean? So we just going to rock out and everything. And, man, we're going to talk, we're going to talk about what's going on. But wait a minute, but let me say one thing. I got it. This is the disclaimer. Bridges and I do not represent the National Alumni Association, the Booster Club, the F Club, anybody's club. Anything we say is basically what we're saying. We do not represent anybody from FAMU. We are not speaking on behalf of anybody from FAMU. So don't be saying FAMU said, because this is FAMU got nothing to do with this. I want to put that out there because the National Alumni Association has Curtis Johnson, who does an excellent job for speaking for the National Alumni Association. Mr. Cobb speaks excellent for the boosters. So that is not what we're here to do. Because I want to say that because what people try to do is that guy said that, and I don't want to put, and I know all these great men and women, and I don't want to say I said anything on their behalf because I am not talking on their behalf. So, hey man, they want to put a disclaimer out there because people want to try to use some stuff and stuff, things like that.
Yeah, thank you. See that's why I got you on the show just for that. Because whatever I say is because of what I said. It came up in this little noggin right here, and I'll just spew it out. So, the topic of the day, man, what in the F happened to FAMU? Like, how did we get here in this situation that we never thought we was going to be in?
Well, see, that's the question. And also the problem, right? How do we get here? Because literally, basically 30 days ago, we were all in Atlanta, HBCU national champions, excited about 2024. We get into 2024, we see these new recruits coming in, everybody's moving, shaking, people are ready to raise money. And then now we're here where we look incompetent, where we look like we don't trust each other, where we look like we don't know what our vision and direction is. And that is the thing that to me is most disturbing because, people always know I say this, and I got my, my jacket here, #1 public HBCU right there. But we are that, and that means something. We brag different. That is something that's serious. I tell people. So we take pride in FAMU. We believe in what FAMU is. So when we're here and when we see things that should be a seamless transition, because we understand that, Coach Simmons had an opportunity. Nobody has a problem with that. Like I said, I've known Coach Simmons, he was 19 years old. So nobody has a problem with that. But the problem now is, how did we get to a point where this transition makes no sense? And now we had coaches that we didn't understand were going to be our next coach. We don't understand why we got coaches on the staff that haven't been interviewed. But now we got to have a search firm that maybe now they might get an interview and things like that. So those are the things that when you have the Rattler Nation that are saying, wait a minute now, we do all these amazing things in all these different platforms, academically, business, social, all those things that we're leaders in. And you're going to tell me that a championship team can't move from one coach to another in a seamless transition, but Alcorn can, Jackson State can, Alabama can,
No, Notre Dame a few years back.
Notre Dame can, but we can't. So this goes back to, the question, and I'm gonna say this too, and this is I want to, because again I know stuff gets clipped and people say this. I do not want my AD to fail. I want to say that right off the rip, because her failing means FAMU fails. But I want her to understand is that we're going to hold you accountable, and also, how about this? How about you let us help you? You'll be amazed what happens if you just ask for help. And there's nothing wrong with saying, okay, because she's new in this position. Okay, this is the first time she's been an AD. There's a learning curve to that. Yeah. I understand that. I've had first-time jobs, and I'll tell you a quick story. The reason why I'm going to tell you this story. I had a job, and I literally was failing at the job. And a black guy hired me. He said, hey, Steve, I'm going to tell you something, bro. Your training is over in like a week, and I'm just getting word that you're just not hitting the metrics. And he said, listen, but I like you, and I know I brought you in, and I tell you what, take a day off, but I need you to come in on Monday and be ready. I said, no, I'm not taking no days off. I'll be here tomorrow because you hired me to do a job. And I'm going to sit under your hip every day. And whatever you think I'm doing, I want you to show me right then and there. Needless to say, I was one of the best employees afterwards. And that's my point. Sometimes you got to come into work the extra days when you don't know what's going on. Sometimes you got to ask people for help when you don't know what's going on. And you can't sit back and plead ignorant when the people are knocking on your door. And some people don't like you, some people do. So if it's me in this situation, I'm talking to everybody. You know what? I need help. I need to understand why people are upset with the direction I was going. Maybe I don't know the culture as well as I should, right? Maybe I need you to explain me, because I'm not a rattler. I don't know why y'all got upset because I want to bring. Maybe we're upset because we understand what championships should be like. And we also know where we were at. Because, see, bro, you're a little bit younger than me. See, bro, I was back in them dark days. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. But I also was old enough to remember when we won the 1978 championship. So when you have been on a championship level and won championships, won playoff games and things like that, and Willie Simmons gets us back to the FAMU standard, we don't want to go back.
Yeah.
We don't want to go back.
Definitely. Like, I was talking to my friends. I was talking to Robin and Jerry. Like, I was like, if she puts an outside coach to come in Willie's shoes, the expectation is so much higher because we're expecting nothing less than the SWAC championship or even just going to 11. We're not expecting less now. Even like I say this, like even if one of his coaches under him would have came in, we would have gave him grace. We'd have been like, all right, we know we ain't gonna have Willie Simmons, but we know it's gonna be kind of rocky. You know, it may take a year or something like that just to get his feet wet. But with this new coach coming in, we like, hey, bro, you gotta live that standard. We undefeated at home. I don't know how long. So hey, you better keep that home winning streak on the popping.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think. Okay, let's go back to the thing about how you do things, right? Let's just say the best coach is a guy from outside. We heard about Trey Oliver, right? Let's just use him. He's a perfect example. He's a national championship HBCU coach. He's built the program up, right? He had a right on track. That's what we all thought we were going to play, right? We all thought. And they were the #1 team for the whole year until they lost to Howard. So let's just use him. If you bring somebody that has the resume that meets the standard, then you don't get that problem. But also then what you do is you do things what people do. You go to the stakeholders and say, listen, I might want to bring Trey Oliver in. What do you think about? Well, we really want Coach Jones. I'm not going to say the coach is on the staff, right? Coach Jones is on the FAMU staff. Let's just do that, not to mix anything up. But then you start selling him to the stakeholders, right? Then the stakeholders get interview him. Then that Trey Oliver is a really good guy. Then you let him talk to a couple of your leaders. Man, you know what? I could play for Coach Oliver. That's how you sell somebody from the outside. But when
it's like a presidential campaign,
you got to sell them. You got to sell them. This happens all the time. So I didn't have a problem if it was somebody from the outside. But then when you get somebody like Sean Gibbs, which was the name we all know now, right? Lower level, didn't win his conference, had only been a coach for 2 years. And this is the thing with people from A&T and Central. He's a great candidate. Then, well, you know what? I asked the question, why Grambling didn't interview him? He worked at Grambling. Why they didn't interview him? Why Southern didn't interview him? They knew him. So my thing is, you want me to take a guy that nobody else interviewed. See, that's a red flag for me. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. He's not ready for this level yet. And then if you hear your players say, if that guy comes, 30 to 40 of us going to leave, then right then and there, how are we going to win the SWAC? We got 30 or 40 guys leaving.
Yeah, that's tough. Then a lot of those players saw that fight. Like literally, I was there at the fight. Like I saw that fight happening in front of me. Some of the players were there. Like I'm not playing for a coach that was about to fight one of my homeboys. Like,
well, that's another thing about bad PR. See, those are things that, again, if you're doing your due diligence. See, this goes back to what my issues always meant. Coach Simmons was a high coach. Man, you in them groups. We heard people saying, Willie leaving last year, right? We heard all that. Yeah. Willie ain't going to be there. Yeah. He going to Clemson. He going here. We heard that last year. So if I know, okay, you come in. Now, she came in right after that, right? She came in after the last football season, before this football season. So you know what I'm doing? I'm catching a lay of the land. Let me see this. But now here's what happened. We're winning games. We win the SWAC championship. You're starting to hear. Go chase down to Tulane, right? You hear, we might go down there. I already need to start preparing that my coach might be leaving. This is not something unusual.
And, so you know he was on the last contract.
You know he's on the last contract. So it's two things what you do as AD. Because you know everybody from FAMU wants him, right? We want you to stay. Hey, coach, you know what? I know you're hot. What's it going to take for you to stay? You're a national champion. Now, that's where the whole thing, did she offer him? Did she not? We're not going to even get in that. I'm talking about the timeline. You got to ask that question. Then the coach is going to kind of let you know, well, I'm looking at some other. As soon as he says that, guess what? I got 5 names already ready.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he does not commit, then you know he's looking somewhere else. Because this is simple. I don't want to go anywhere. I want more money. Fine. But if you say, well, I got other opportunities, but I still want to be here. As soon as the but is, I'm all ready. Because then here's what happens. Then you go and you get your list. And then actually, this is when the search committee should have came. The search committee should have been in December. Search committee and search firm. Yeah. Then by the time he's ready to go, you already have your name. And the day Willie did that interview with Vaughn saying, I'm going to Duke, she should have been announcing our new coach 5 hours later or an hour later. Or matter of fact, they should have had a joint press conference. I'm passing you the baton, Coach Campbell. I appreciate it. You're going to be able to take this thing over and win us another championship. So these are the things that anybody that has run big organizations know you have to have succession plans, know that coaches leave. And then when you get caught flat-footed and then you go and see, this is the thing that, and again, the Alumni Association had to deal with this last night. We raised $150,000, but that was to secure Willie Simmons. So now you put the Alumni Association, because people are like, what's up with this money? Yeah. This money was raised for Willie Simmons. So now they got to go, that's not fair to them. Because now this is what we do know. You called them and you said, we need to raise money to match Duke. That's not made up. That's a fact. Yeah. So we're thinking that we match this money, right? Coach Simmons is going to be here. That's why you saw all that money come like that, because we brag different. We were like, that school is not going to steal our coach, especially to be a running backs coach. Yeah. We got plenty of money. And when I tell people that, and I want people to understand this, that cash money is not even close to the money that was ready. All the affinity groups, Kappa Alpha Psi, the AKAs, this group, class of 83, my class, all of us were getting ready to put up 25 here, 25 there. I'm telling you, that was up to $600,000-$700,000 in commitment of money. Just for Coach Simmons. So don't be fooled by that 150. That was cash, like they said, we got in our pocket. I ain't talking about the credit card that's got an unlimited balance.
Yeah. And see, my thing is this. If you do, like you said, if you do your due diligence when you come in and you know Coach Willie is on his last year of this contract, you should have came forward to him like, hey, I know you're on your last year. I know you only lost 2 games in the SWAC. I can give you this much right now because you're a high value coach if you win this game, if you win this game, we can give you more. That it should have been like that in the beginning of the season when nobody played. You should have already laid the foundation down. And Coach Willie said, "Hey, I'm maybe looking for some other stuff." You should have been calling help right then and there because we would have gave ample amount of money for him and his coaching staff and more.
And that's the thing. See, this is where again. So let's be clear that not one time did we mention that she was a woman. Not one time did I say, "Oh no," because a woman doesn't know that. This had nothing to do with this. This is about the level of competence that we expect from you being our AD. You got a great listen. I'm gonna flip the script because you know what? Because people are misrepresenting unqualified versus qualified. When Scotty says unqualified, what it means is they did not select her for the job. So that means she was not qualified to be. That doesn't mean she's not qualified to apply for the job. Okay, that's two different things. So I'm not saying this woman does not have an outstanding resume. She's an outstanding person. You don't go work at Dartmouth being a lame. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So I'm going to give her respect of being a professional. But what also she got to give us our respect of knowing that we understand what we need to have to be a championship team. And we're going to back you up because the thing about it is, it's the DSOs that she got to go to pay the salary. She went to the foundation. They were like, the foundation was already paying $100,000 of Willie's salary. So you already know you got to deal with these people. The Booster Club was the one that's paying the bonuses. You already know you got to deal with these people. So you can't sit back there and say, I'm just going to my way or the highway. The only time you can ever do, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, the only time that you can do my way or the highway is simply this, is when you own it, when it's yours, when it's point blank yours. Yeah. So that's the thing. So you don't own it. So that means you should always be working in a collaborative way. You should always look to build consensus. Because I'll tell you another thing too, when you build consensus, that covers your ass. Because you can't, because see, then if you tell everybody this shit go wrong, excuse my language, then you say, I told you. Y'all went on it. Y'all told me to get Coach Jones. We talked about it.
Then you can do your own thing.
Then you can do your own thing. Then you can do your own thing.
Man, it's just crazy how all this happened, and you see them in the limelight. You see both of them, not just the AD. You see Coach Simmons too. You see both of them in the limelight. They look like they had a good working relationship. So, like, I know all of us are thinking like, "Oh, we about to run this thing back with Coach Willie. We about to be bigger and better ever." Like, my question is to you because you're older. I know your people give out money, buttload of money to FAMU. Like, was she ever traveling to places to talk to these alumni bases as far as, hey, we need help here, we need help here, we need some extra funds here for the softball team, not even just for football, just for all athletics in general? Like, was she doing that? Like, because I hear little yeses and a lot of no's.
Well, that's the thing. So I know she would go to the 220 club, right? At their meeting. Now, I don't know what she talked to behind the scenes. I know she would get on the Booster Club meetings. But let's use something that we know about, like the Strike Tour, right? We know what that is, right? When the NAA set that up, they went all around the country doing fundraising. We know we didn't have a Strike Tour with her. So that we do know, right? We know, according to Curtis, that he had not talked to her until that day of the ask. So we know there's no connection there. So again, when you're trying to put these initiatives together, you should know about them. It shouldn't be secret because these initiatives should go out to everybody. So even if it's the Booster Club that she went to and said, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. So the Booster Club goes out to the Booster Club are people. It's not a thing. So people are going to say that. So my thing is, once again, she said simply, because Lisa LeBeau asked her, tell me what your fundraising initiatives are. You heard her. Did you hear her say, I'm working with the Booster Club, I'm working with the F Club, I'm working with the 220 Club, I'm working with the NA? You didn't hear any of that. So I'm just going to use what she said. So I'm not going. So I can't confirm what she didn't do, but I know what she told Lisa LeBeau when she's like, "You $817,000 down. What are you doing?" She didn't say, "Well, me and the Booster Club are working to raise $500,000. Me and the NAA are working to raise $100,000. Me and the 220 Club are working to raise $60,000." You heard raffle tickets.
High school games.
Yeah, yeah,
Mr.
yeah. You heard raffle tickets. Somebody's asked the question. I'm gonna ask this question. Somebody said, "What's the
Yeah.
difference between the F Club, the 220 Club, and the Booster Club?" The Booster Club is the overall FAMU booster for all athletics. Okay. The F Club supports the football team. From my understanding, these are people that actually formerly played football also that are really part of the F Club alumni. And then the 220 Club is more of a social support organization that's called the 220 Club that's run by Eddie Jackson, who actually worked at FAMU and things like that. So those are three. But from my understanding, the only official DSO out of those is the Booster Club and maybe the F Club. As far as direct organization, the 220 Club is not. And like I said, somebody could correct me in the chat, but the Booster Club I know is a direct, which means they have rules and regulations they have to follow by the state of Florida because they are direct DSO supporting Florida A&M University.
Hmm. And I'm gonna do this comment right here. She has collaborated with the NIA when she goes out fundraising on the annual strike tour.
Okay, so when did
For,
so when did she do the, okay, that's what I'm asking. When did she do the strike tour? Because I don't remember her
yeah,
doing the strike tour. So
that's
you're
not
saying
her
that
tour.
she yeah, I don't remember her doing the strike tour because that's the point that Curtis pointed out at the alumni meeting when he had his PowerPoint saying that we did this with Gaucher and we raised X amount of dollars. Or he said she has to collect. I'm sorry. She has. Oh, I'm sorry. No, no, no. Okay. She said she has to. Okay. Not that she did. Okay. I apologize. Yeah. Okay. My bad. I misread that. Yes.
Yeah.
She does have to. E. Johnson, you're 100% right. Exactly. That's the part of it. Because the thing about it was so amazing about the strike tour when they did it, right? Came to, everywhere. I have a friend from Chicago that texted me. She was like, they were at my people's house. I was right there giving money. I literally got that text last night. But see, what that also does is you're building interpersonal relationships with people that you're going to need. These are
Hmm.
people that you're going to need. I think we heard on the call there was a person that said I think on the board of trustees, where she was like, I gave $50,000 myself. You might want to sit down with that woman. If she tell her I've given and I raised $2 million in my house, you might want to talk to her. That might need to be
Yeah.
your folks. So these are the things about building relationships and building bridges, because you know what it is, and I tell people this all the time. People say, and I'm gonna tell you this, man. One thing I learned a long time ago, I tell everybody thank you that does anything for me. I
Hmm.
tell them, I don't care if you give me 5 cents or $5 million, because you know what? When you tell them thank you, if I go back and ask you again, they say, you know what, Steve told me thank you. I'll help them again.
Yep.
Or if I'm doing wrong, they'll give me a pass. They won't be on my ass. So you
Hmm.
have to build a trust. It's just like with you and I. I met you, we talked on the phone, we built a trust. You trust me to come on your show. But that comes from building a relationship. That comes from you watching me and see that I, handle myself in a professional manner, that I'm not going to sit up here be acting a fool, cursing and doing things like that. So it's the same thing with any relationship. People are only going to judge you by how you treat them and how you operate. So if you don't have people that are going to be your champion, then that says that you got to work on building these bridges. Because see, if that was me, I'm telling you something. If that was AD, I'm telling you right now, I could call 100 people for FAMU, and I'm gonna tell you one thing they're gonna say. That's my prayers right there. I got his back. I got
Hmm.
his back because he has my back. I know Steve Campbell. They ain't Steve Campbell. They did that. I'm telling
Yeah.
you because I have built those relationships with people. My class raised $100,000. That ain't easy, man.
Yeah.
That's not easy. When I went to my classmates and said, "Hey, the freshman class 88, we want to be on that list," I had to sell that to them and had them to understand the vision. We want our name. We 88 brags different, and every one of
Yeah.
them says, "See, we riding out. We raised $100,000. It's only first there's only two class of 80s that's done it. So that's the thing. You know what our next goal is? $500,000. But that comes by buy-in. That comes with keeping my classmates informed. That comes when my classmates call me, "What are we doing with this money? What is this for?" And I'm able to explain it to them. That means that I'm the first one out there, not the second. I don't lead from behind. I lead from the front. So my class
Gotcha.
needs something. Steve Campbell gonna be out there for 88 because I was the class president. So so it's funny. I'm still the class president 35 years later because I
Hmm.
believe in FAMU. So that money, that $100,000, because we want to make sure we're supporting our school. So I'm not one of those people just talking about it. I be about it. My classmates are 88 about it. The Campbells are about it. The Deltas are about it. The AKs, the National Alumni Association, the Booster Club. These people believe in FAMU with their money. They ain't on no shows on Twitter. These are people
Yeah.
that believe in it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, well, my thing is this, like, well, you know how to fundraise, Mr. Campbell. Like, it's like this. What, regardless if you're at FAMU or not, what are the first things that you touch upon that you talk to people like, hey, we gotta raise this amount of money? Because I mean, easily said and done. You can do it at the snap of their fingers, just like that. But just at another school, like, what are the perimeters for you? It's like fundraising money, just in general, so people know out there.
Well, the first thing, people got to know what you're doing with the money. Point blank, period. The ask has to be reasonable and understandable. If you can't understand what the ask is, you're not going to raise it, right? So that's the first thing. Then you got to get your affinity group, people that are people that are in this group, people that are part of a larger group, so you can understand what the goal is. I'm here, like me. I sponsor Jackson State. So I sponsored Jackson State because my whole family went to Jackson State. So it was nothing when the Royal Court and those people say, hey, will you sponsor? Yeah, no, that's easy. I know what the mission is. I know why I'm doing that. Same thing with Grambling. I did that. I was starting my business. Grambling said, you know what? You went to FAMU or HBC. You can come down here. We're going to give you a shot. But I knew what the mission was. They understood what I was doing. So again, you first and foremost, people have to start them knowing what the mission is and what you're going to do with the money. That's why I give the NAA a lot of credit, because they understood that the money technically was raised for something else. And they said, we're going to tell you what we're getting ready to do this month. They had literally a 2-hour meeting 2 days ago, because you got to let people know what's going on with the money. You got to let people know, and then they'll give more money. Now, the flip side of it is when you tell somebody, Allah, we're raising money for Willie, and then Willie's gone. You think you got any more trust after that? So
Wow.
raising money is about trust. It always is about trust. So what I tell anybody is, and this is why I challenge anybody, you don't have to be a millionaire to raise money. If you got $5, get 500 people to get 5. Then it starts building. It's times I haven't had money to give FAMU, but now I can give money to FAMU. So I rock out with it. Our class can rock out with it. So my thing is, again, but I tell you the great thing about when you give money, it gives you a chip at the table. Because you know what happened?
Yeah.
When all the affinity organizations, Class 88 was one of them. You know what? I got an email. They said, well, we want you to put up $25,000. Well, I got a chip in the game now. If you asking me for money, then I'm going to say something back. So can't nobody say the Class 88 can't have a conversation about who the next coach is if you asking me for 25 G's.
Definitely.
So absolutely.
Definitely. Mr. Campbell, what is the impact of the NAA vote and non-confident vote in the AD in the coaching search committee?
All right. So this is the thing. When you have to push people to make this vote, because see, that's not something that people take lightly. That you just don't. And I think, you know what I love about what the National Alumni Association is, and I got to make this point. People, you had all these people from different schools. They thought it was going to be Jerry Springer on there. But what they saw was Curtis Johnson, Yolanda Pinkett, Angela Williams, all these people from a very Reggie Mitchell. I'm talking about Kasasha Sharp. These are people I know. You see what I'm saying? Went to school with. Shows you from a very professional manner how they run a meeting with the world watching. But what they did was they did not take lightly that vote. And what they explained to everybody that was watching, non-FAMU or not, here's why we don't believe we have a vote in our common. Because we see that what you're doing could affect our university that we love. That goes to the president. The president's got to take that to heart. Because you know why? Those are the people that he has to raise money for. He just won't talk about the chip in the game. This NAA has a $150,000 sitting. The NAA just told you, we can help you raise $500,000. So that means something. So if I'm the president, whoa, wait a minute. And these are high-level professionals that are observing this. So now I got to evaluate what's going on, right? I've got to sit back and say, why are these people saying? Because we just don't kneel and willing to do a vote of no confidence. That's not what happens. So so for me, if somebody's going to give me a failing grade on my exam, right? It probably needs to let you know that you're doing something wrong. And instead of fighting that, maybe you need to go to the professor and say, what do I need to do better? So my thing is, again, if I'm AD Sykes, I'm having a one-on-one with Curtis Johnson. President Johnson, I saw the vote of no confidence. You know what? It hurts, but tell me what I can do better. Where is the song say, where did we go wrong? You tell me. Then what you say is, you do what a lot of people that don't know what to do. Apologize. I failed, and I'm going to be better. What do I need to come on to gain the confidence back of the NA? You know what? I think that'll be a great thing. Because see, you're not going to say I'm a failure and I'm not going to address it. Because see, if you don't address it, then you're co-signing on it.
Yeah.
So I'm never going to co-sign on somebody saying I'm a failure, or I'm going to accept it and I'm going to come to you, because if you're evaluating me and you're calling me a failure, then I'm going to come on and say, let me tell you what I'm going to do to be better. Because you guys gave me $150,000 when I made the phone call. Clearly, the communication is what it needs not to be. I'm going to be better. I'm here. I want to work with the NAA because I need your help to make FAMU great, FAMU athletics great.
Yeah, especially like in powers like this, you gotta humble yourself. Like that. That's probably the one thing I learned about working with when you're over people and you're working with people. You have to humble yourself and sit in the back seat sometimes. It just, what did I do? How did I get here? And where do I go from now? I think those are the main questions you should ask yourself. And how can I apologize to people that come off sincere? Not like a jackass, not like, oh yeah, I did it. And I'm gonna just say I'm sorry just to get y'all off my back.
See, and that's the thing. I always tell my children this. The easiest thing to do that most people don't do is they don't know how to apologize. And they don't know how to admit that they failed. Because I'm telling you, if you get that off the table, then people get off your behind. Because if me and you have a problem, and you say, Mr. Campbell, man, you tripping, you've been doing it, and I say, hey, Bridget, you know what? Man, I'm sorry. What else can you say after that? I've reset it. But if I just ignore you or I don't hear your concerns, you're going to keep getting madder and madder and madder. You see what I'm saying? That's what people get pissed off. Oh, you don't see me hurting over here?
Yeah.
Oh, you just going to ignore me? All right, no problem. And then that's when you get people getting spiteful. And so you don't ever want to be in a position where people are spiteful, because it's hard for them to come back, because what they want to do is inflict pain on you after that. So my thing is, don't let people be spiteful towards you. Understand why they have an issue with you, confront it, deal with it, come out on the other side, reset. Because see, this is the thing about it. To me, this reset is so easy. It's not even funny. Because again, you did the whole thing. So all these people are outraged that you went and got Stephen Gibbs. I'm going to sit back and like, damn, why are they mad? I need to understand that, so I don't make this mistake again. Or if I really do have somebody I want, as y'all say, stand on business, then I know how to present it a different way. But you can't do where everybody's kind of hearing whatever, and people kind of caught wind that basically what you were going to do on that Friday, you were going to just throw them up there, and then the board of trustees would just go like, well, we ain't got no coach, let's just vote for him. You put it out there at front. You say, this is my candidate. This is my guy. This is what I want to do, and go forward. I'm sorry what happened with Coach Simmons, but here's a better way I'm going to do it. So again, the thing about it is, man, it's always about communication. And I keep telling people this all the time. Sometimes you got to have difficult conversations, because if not, then you get what's happened to her these last two board meetings, where people are cross-checking you and you look like you're unprepared. Because people are ready they're ready to say, hey, we're going to have this. You don't want to have this conversation? We're going to have it right here. Like Lisa LeBeau said, forget all that. You need to tell me how you're going to fundraise. I don't want to hear none of that, you know what I'm saying? But see, if I was her, I already would have had the conversation with Lisa LeBeau offline. So Lisa LeBeau would put me on Front Street and put me on the record. Because I already know I owed $817,000. So why not go to Lisa LeBeau first and say, hey, listen, I'm probably going to need your help with this coaching selection. What do you need me to do? Well, you know what? I need you to give me a plan on fundraising. You know what, Lisa? I'll have that to you in a week. Then it don't even come up. Because then when it comes up, you know what Lisa said? Well, I've talked to AD Sykes offline. She's kind of told me what her plan is. My Madam Chair from the BLT, I'm good on that. I'll report back. But you let people put you on Front Street, and then you don't seem like you're prepared, because she did get caught off guard.
Like you didn't even study. Like you knew the answer was gonna come. You didn't even study. Like you didn't even study for the test, and they gave you the answers.
Yeah, gave you the answers. This is the thing about it, because see, I want everybody to understand, because people, oh, FAMU broke. This is not how FAMU broke. Let me explain what it is. When you're running a deficit, the foundation with our $120+ million endowment then has to cover it. So what Lisa LeBeau is basically saying is, wait a minute. If you don't fix this, You're going to come to me for $817,000, and then you want another $200,000 for the coaches. That's $1 million. So I need for you to tell me what you're going to do before you even ask me for a dime. Because what it seems like is that you're not doing your job. And guess what? In her job description, it says fundraising. I have her contract. So and all those people on the board of trustees have a contract because they signed off on the contract. So if you come and you know that you're going to have to ask the DSOs for money, and you don't even have this, or you don't have a good answer, then that's what happens. And then it makes it look like that you're not prepared, or you don't look like you're up for the job. And she might be up for the job. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to change the narrative. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. So the only reason why I'm going to do that, because I'm going to allow her to either prove it or not. See, this is on her now. This ain't on us. Because what I wanted, and I tell everybody, I did not hesitate. I know for a fact that and I was the one that gave Sky those links, because it's public law that it could be public. So I wasn't like sneaking. You see what I'm saying? And I knew a lot of people from FAMU, like that first Zoom, right? They only had, I think, 300 people get on. 1,000, 1,500 people were able to watch on Scotty's show. They needed to see that. Because you know what I wanted? I didn't want, because this is what people do. If you got a little amount of people that could do it, then they get on the Facebook group and then they tell their narrative. This is what I heard. This is what I think. I don't want any bias. Because that's what was happening to her too. People were putting in their biases, good and bad, right? And what they thought they knew. So you know what? No. We're not going to do that. You guys going to hear this BOT meeting, and you're going to hear how she operates. And then you know what happened? It's exactly what I knew. People was like, yeah, we got a problem with this. So, you know, that's the thing. That's the deal. So it's not anybody can sit back and say, oh, well, you're spreading lies on her. You guys are being misogynistic. You're doing this. No, people saw how you performed and had concern. People saw that for whatever reason, Coach Cozy and Coach Roll are there, and you still didn't say you interviewed them. So people want to know why. But she said it. So now we ain't got no doubt. Because she could have said, I've got 2 coaches that I want to put up. That I think that was whenever that Board of Trustees meeting was, when we found out when we had that, right? She could have said, I've got 2 people that I would like to put up for the job of coach. And then they could have did the search committee. I'm going to interview these 2. I'm going to let Dr. Robinson, I'm going to get with the search committee. And then out of those 2, that's who, whatever. But that lets you know them people weren't on her mind. So now people internally are saying, well, wait a minute now. Why are these people not even being considered? So that ain't me talking. That's her talking. So, you know, that's the thing.
And my thing is this, like, she still haven't said nothing about those 2 coaches. She, like, what Mr. Campbell, this is what makes me mad, like, right here. We come off the Celebration Bowl, and for me personally, I know it's interview time. This is when I start ramping up my recruit interview times during this off season, so I can get views on that's how I normally go about things. Literally, everybody that decommitted, I had an interview with. So that pissed me off from the utmost high, because it was a seamless process in everybody's eyes of who the next head coach could have been. You could have picked, you had 5 candidates you could have picked from that's literally right across the street from your office. But you are so stubborn that you don't want to go over there and talk to the coaches, that you just let it fall off to the wayside. And now you got these football players that's there and like that want to come to FAMU. They wishy-washy now. They're like, I don't know what to do. There's probably someone stuck in the a rock in a hard place.
Well, they are, because first of all, can we give a shout out to Kelvin Dean, man? How he represented the FAMU football players, and said, listen, this is what we want. I wanted to know so I can support recruits and things like that. Man, shout out to Kevin Dean for real, man. You know, I want people to follow that brother, because this is what I'm talking about. But you know what this means? These young men understand the value of being at Florida A&M University, not just playing football, but from the academic and social value of being at FAMU. That's why them boys ain't jumped yet. Them boys is ready to run it back. Why am I going to jump? And again, I hate to use a joke. Why am I going to jump and go to Valley? Well, I know I ain't going to win a championship. We got a championship right here. So the grass ain't greener. The grass is green right in Tallahassee. If all we need is a coach. So that's why them boys ain't jumped yet. So it's the thing about it is when you sit back, and this goes back to the point. Because see, what I would have done, let's just say again, I'm keep going back. Gibbs was my guy, right? I'm still gonna interview all your people, just so I say I did, and then I can say, you know what, they didn't fit the criteria I wanted, but at least you can say you interviewed them. You could say and then you could do. Listen, man, I've hired over 500 people, and like I've had people that I might say, hey, Bridget, listen, I got this job, but I got to interview like 10 people, but I'm gonna give you the job, right? I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you the job, but I need you. How you got to fill. How people say just fill out the application and all that. We all got that hook up, but I still got to interview the other 9 people, right? I interview them and I listen to them. Now I already know I'm giving you the job, but at least the people can't say that I didn't interview them. They can't say it. And the cool thing about it, if your game is tight like mine, y'all wouldn't even know how I did. I would have been like, yep, I just interviewed all these people, and Sean Gibbs is the best. And they were like, oh, shit. But then when you do like you do, and you made it obvious this was the only person that you wanted, no matter what, my way or the highway, then you get caught out there. Because, see, as soon as I would have known Sean Gibbs, I would have been starting interviews at Cozy and Roll right then and there. I just would have been doing it. Y'all wouldn't even know. And I would have told the people, hey, I got some outside candidates that I'm going to interview. And then that's when I'm making my move. Well, you know what? Coach Cozy, he hadn't been a head coach on this level. Coach Roll, this guy's 16-5. I interviewed these guys. They didn't kind of answer my thing about APR. Coach Gibbs did. And I'm telling him all the shit he need to say when he go talk to y'all. You don't think I'm going to say, hey, Bridges, listen. Now, when you go talk to the NAA president, I need you to say A, B, C, and D. When you go talk to the Booster Club, I need you to go say A, B, and C, and D. I'm going to coach you. You my guy. Yeah. So I'm not going to tell Cozy and Roll nothing. You just interview. You on your own, bro. You just do what you got to do. You on your own. But when I'm getting ready to present you, because he did like the Booster Club, they can't say, well, she did interview Cozy. She did interview Roll. She did interview Quinn Gray. We met Gibbs, and he said all the right things. Because I already know what you need to hear. See, this is how the game, this is what I'm saying about experience. See, like I said, I know how this works. I know how to get people through the door. And I know when somebody, I've had a friend of mine, he hired me for a job way back. And he was like, see, they really don't like people from the outside. They really like to promote internal, right? So this is what, when you do this interview, I need you to say these points, A, B, C, and D. And I've told people that it doesn't matter if you internal, this guy can do the job. Bro, when that came over there, bubbles, job gotten. Because he schooled me on what I need to say to the internal stakeholders.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But my thing is this: when you saying that, do she know how to give somebody A, B, C, and D? Like,
this goes back to my, like I've said this, and then we'll say people like, man, you doing the work. But listen, bro, I'm gonna be on here because I'm part of the street committee. So that's why I'm on all these shows. Because what I don't want people to do is lie on my FAMU. So that's why I'm on all these shows. So that's what I've said. See, sometimes the question, have you sat in the second chair? Has somebody mentored you? I tell you what, we got Walter Reed right down there in Florida. Walter Reed was at Jackson State, legendary AD, came to FAMU and A with Dr. Humphries. Why you didn't talk to Walter Reed and say, hey, you've been here, you know how these folks, I give you one better, man. Why you didn't call Ashley Robinson? Why didn't you say, they all got each other's number? You don't think Ashley Robinson wouldn't have picked up that phone and helped her? And she said, hey, listen, Ashley, I'm going to tell y'all a story, and I know this for a fact. People really thought that Deion Sanders' hire was a slam dunk. It was not. It was a lot of them Jack State old heads like, this man ain't never coached. He's never been a coach. They said the exact same thing. But you know what Ashley Robinson did? He went to all those stakeholders, them old heads and all that, the young people out there in Dallas that knew Deion, and he started building a consensus. He started saying, this guy's going to be good. This guy's going to be whatever. Now, of course, Deion is Deion, but my point was, even with Deion, he went to the stakeholders. Even with Deion, he went to the stakeholders. Even with Deion, he was like, listen, when you roll in here in this Escalade truck, make sure you got that JSU jacket on and that JSU and Tracy got that navy blue dress on because you got to look JSU blue, baby.
Yeah.
He told him that. He told how this thing needs to look. So that's what I'm saying is that sometimes it's about experience. And see, this goes back with the argument. And Scotty broke this down. The 18 people that were on that board, man, those are some superstars. I was in school with Shantae Friday Stroud. That woman was a superstar in college. Terrell Willie is a superstar. All these people, man, I know these folks, man. These are not
Mhm.
lightweights. So my point of it is, if they look, Angie Suggs, Marvin Green is my friend brother. Marvin Green had three. Listen to this, bro. He had three recommendations from three of the high-power ADs ever, and he still didn't make the cut. Okay.
Oh,
So my
wow.
point of this, you're gonna tell me that these 18 people, when they looked at it, and there's nothing wrong with you not being the top. This happens. That means we had a lot of great candidates. How about we look at it like that? Not that you were a bad
Right.
candidate. How about we had a lot of great candidates? You weren't the best of the best. So my thing is, again, that lets me know that when they evaluated your resume, you interviewed, it was something that they said, you know what, just not. And that means she didn't make the second cut because we saw the number. She was in the
Yeah.
bottom tier. So that ain't me hating on her. That is your performance that you did not impress these 18 people, right?
Right.
Not me and you talking or me and you hating from the background or Scotty hating. You went in front of 18 people that were qualified at New Florida A&M University.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on one second. Headphone. Hold on.
But shoot, make sure you make sure you subscribe to the Preach Not Read, and make sure you subscribe to All Script. You know what it is. But I'm gonna answer this question right here. What will be the impact of recruiting? To me, honestly, I do not know. The only thing I can say is if we hire from in-house, I know most of the guys will stay and most of the recruiting will stay. If we hire outsource, I really hope it's going to be that caliber of coach that can pull those recruits back in because a lot of recruits are decommitting right now. So Tom only can tell once we get a official coach or what our recruitment look like.
Okay, can you hear me, Bridges?
Yeah, yeah, you good, you
Okay, so
good.
I don't know. Sometimes my head and my Bluetooth drops. But no, the last point I was making is that what you have to do, you have to have mentors, right? When you've never done a job before, as in she's never been the head AD. That associate this because one thing about associate AD, they only handle a certain part of the AD job, right? Like she was a compliance person, basically, right? So my
Hmm.
thing is, get you a mentor, talk to other people. You talking about Coach Stratton. Again, call Ashley Robinson. Talk to Walter Reed. Talk to John Eason. These people. Hey, let me get your ideas on what I'm because again, if she's hell bent on Sean Gibbs, then you really need to talk to some people from the outside to say how to navigate this. Because you already know. And again, if you're that tone deaf to not know that people want to Billy Roll or Coach Coast, then you really need to reevaluate that. Because part of the thing that keeps people out of trouble is knowing the pulse of what's going on. I know everything in the streets of Tallahassee and FAMU because I keep up with it.
Hmm.
So when this stuff started going down, people were calling me, telling me, but I was able to call people and say, is this true? This is not true. Man, it was a whole bunch of stuff I heard. I was like, that ain't true. That ain't true. That's not true.
Yeah.
Same thing. I know Coach Simmons. I knew what was going on with that. And I respected his move. So my point of it is that you need to have mentors that are able when this stuff gets. So my thing is, I heard that, Rob Broadway is a mentor. So did Rob Broadway tell her this? To move like this, to go and say, hey, your way or the highway is your, because I've heard this narrative where it's her choice. You're right. It is her choice. But also choices come with consequences. So my thing
Hmm.
is, did you think about the consequence of choice A and choice B? See, that's where knowledge comes in at. Because I'm gonna say, if I make this choice right here, I know what this is gonna happen. I make this choice right here. And then I'm gonna balance the scales to see which one, because it's a risk reward, right? If Sean
Right.
Gibbs is that much where let's just say in her mind, Sean Gibbs is the next Willie Simmons and y'all dummies don't know it. Well, then prove it.
Yeah.
Sell it. Because people didn't know Willie was going to be Willie, but John Eason and Greg Clark knew. Ray Matthews knew. They sold it.
Yeah. The thing that made me buy into Willie so much when he first came is he always talked about Tallahassee. Like he's from the area, so like I didn't really know Coach Willie from Campaign. I didn't even know he was at Prairie View. But the thing about like that made me kind of commit to that was like he's from Tallahassee. I'm from Tallahassee. I'm from Tallahassee. I know this area. I know the Florida area. I know this. I know this. Like, and that just caught on fire. Like, oh, that coach from near Tallahassee. He know a little bit about something about FAMU. So his whole family went to FAMU. That it brought people in. Just the story and the hook line just brought people in.
So that's the thing. So when you're sitting back and you're evaluating and when you're bringing people in, it's no different. When you're a presidential candidate, you evaluate all these people that's going to be vice president, right? You just don't bring them in and you let them talk to people, talk to the money people, and you say this first. It's the same thing. And here's the thing about this. This right now, FAMU football team is the #1 football team job. Point blank, period. It's different than any other job right now. So it's going to have a higher level of scrutiny. That's just automatic. People are going to cover it. People are going to report it. People are going to question it. So you can't sit back there and, oh, this is just any other job fulfillment. No, because even we see, look what we just happened. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. You got to take everything you do seriously. She hires the bowling coach. That young lady probably was not prepared for that job. So then she does things because she didn't have the experience. So now, guess what? You know what? That's a mark on you too. You hired the bowling coach. She doesn't have any experience. No, I'm not shocked that she did something what an inexperienced person would do. This is what happens. Now the thing, I'm gonna say, I'm a supporter of Coach Gordon because I knew Coach Gordon I watched her play basketball at Tennessee. I think Coach Gordon is going to be amazing. So I think the book is out for that. I think even though she hasn't been a head coach, I think Coach Gordon has the ability because of who and what she is and winning Olympic gold medals, national championships, all that stuff like that, being a high level player. I think she can, put that into those because the women have played better. I can just tell you, I'm a women's basketball.
Yeah, they played.
They have played much better.
I went to go see them when they played Houston. They played 10 times better than what I saw in the previous years. Like, yeah, next year they're really gonna be good. They're really gonna be good next year.
Yeah. So with that, but the thing about it is, Coach Gordon had a physical resume that was so long. You know what I'm saying? She had been assistant coach. She had worked. She had been a national champion. She knew past. And another thing too, Coach Gordon got all these Tennessee women all over the country that she could use the network to recruit. So what I'm saying is, even if she might not have been a head coach, she had other things. See, this is what I'm talking about, selling stuff, right? So if she came to me and said, "This is why I could see," because look, I just sold Coach Gordon, right? I just sold you. She's from Tennessee. She's got all these connects. She's a national champion. She's an Olympic champion. She's a top 5 player. All these different things that I'm going to sell to you. And you say, oh, okay, I didn't know that about Coach Gordon. Oh, okay, I'm going to give her a chance. That's how you do it. Same thing should have been with Sean Gibbs. Same thing. Same thing. But you didn't do that. You didn't do that. And you knew that there were quality. Well, as we say, the people at FAMU Field were qualified. Coach Cozy, Coach Roll, Quinn Gray, KJ Black. These are just names that people are throwing around from the FAMU side. Why didn't you at least interview them? Why didn't you at least we get Coach Black is at the Rams and stuff like that? You still should have called him. How you I'm gonna let him say no, just call him.
Yeah. Shoot. I would have come down here, I would have laid the red carpet out for hey Coach KJ, what's up with you?
Bruh, that's what I'm trying to tell you. What's crazy is that if you don't even call, because see, if you call, it covers your bases. Because let him say no. Let him say, nah, you know what, I'm rocking with the pros. But you don't even know because you didn't even ask him. Quinn Gray, you didn't even ask him. But then that would have covered yourself. You got to know how this stuff works, man. No.
Yeah. When will the final decision be for the coach? I know they said they're gonna be looking at some like 5 candidates on Sunday or something like that.
Sunday, right. So all the people, so the portal is up, which everybody can see. But again, we're paying all these people money to put up a Google Doc portal. Man, you could have did that, man. I'm just exactly. That's the thing about it. Yeah, that's the thing about it. But she called that, and I'm not going to get into my opinion why she did that. So they do have the portal. They said they got to have everybody in. But here's the interesting thing about what is. How many people you think are going to have the ability to rush and be able to apply that quick? Not a lot. So what's going to be funny is if we end up with like 5 people and 3 of them are the FAMU people anyway, then the whole thing was a waste anyway. You're going to pay, because you're not going to have 30 people apply for this. Because first of all, 30 people are not qualified for this job right now.
Right.
Because I can tell you right now, there's not a coach in the SWAC that could take this job or going to leave. TC ain't leaving Jack State, and Eddie Robb ain't leaving Alabama State, and then nobody else is worth it, right? We already know that Trey Oliver's not leaving Central. Who else? Larry, the guy from Howard, he ain't leaving. So there's no coaches in South Carolina. So now we start going down levels. Then now what you gonna do? Look for a white coordinator. So people like Cadillac Williams made $900,000. He's not coming to coach for FAMU.
Yeah, he was the interim at Auburn. He is not coming up FAMU.
So that's what I'm saying. So this pool of candidates ain't that big, man.
Hey,
okay, Derek White, Fred McNair. Okay, so there you go. So Fred McNair. So there you go. So Fred McNair, Coach Cole, Coach Rowe, my guy KJ Black. So six people that legitimately can apply for this job. 6. So yeah, Fred McNair apply. I don't see we ain't got nothing to lose. Apply.
Yeah.
I don't think Fred fits FAMU because I think again the greatness of what I thought Coach Cole and Coach Rowe would bring. All FAMU has to do is just recruit kids from Florida, and it's a dual recruiting. Young high school kids that are 2 and maybe 3 stars that, hey, I want to go FAMU, and then guys that left to go Power 5 and say, you know what, it doesn't work. Let me come back to Florida. I want to come back to FAMU. But you already know these kids because, like Coach Rowe, you've either coached them or one of your former players that coached these guys, things like that. Coach Cole played at Florida State. You don't think he got a relationship with all them people over at Florida State? So we don't need to go to Texas and Alabama and all that. All we got to do is get the guys from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And we're always going to be good.
Yep.
Stay in the state. We're always going to be good. Because no other state other than Texas, but they don't take, see the problem with Prairie View and Texas Southern, those guys just don't see that as a destination because there's so many schools in Texas and how Texas is brainwashed. But FAMU is iconic in the state of Florida. It's not no second or third tier school in the state of Florida. That's why you can get these kids.
That's what I was telling one of my friends. I'm here now. I'm like, bro, Texas Southern should be popping as an athletic base for people that really can't go D1 because you have everything here in Houston. Like you have everything you want in Houston. You have the limelight, you got the people, you got the food, and you got the school, and it's right there. So I was like, there's no way there is no way that Florida is out recruiting Texas Southern. I mean, we should be neck and neck. Should be neck and neck.
But see, this goes back to what your alumni care about. Texas Southern, frankly, just always been a basketball school. They just, and I'm talking about goes back. That is their Houston basketball is huge, and they have just been. But see, and that requires the right coach. Like Coach Cole, I've been on there. He actually won a championship down there. You got to have the right. Prairie View, like I think Bubba is almost there with Prairie View. I think the problem with Bubba, I think he's a little bit more. I think they need a little bit more flamboyant guy. A little bit. I think Bubba is like head down. I think they need I tell you what, if like somebody, which again, I know I'm talking crazy, but if somebody like Dion went to Prairie View, it would be incredible. It would be incredible. All the players they would get. So it would be incredible. And Prairie View got big money. So again, the thing about it is just like what somebody said, you know, Coach Rowe will start the recruitment. Yeah, Coach Rowe would probably be, man, I got people all over. I can recruit people. Now, here's the fun thing. Kane's Dolphins said, how about Randy Shannon or Butch Davis? I'm going to tell everybody a little secret. John Easter was thinking about hiring Randy Shannon before he hired Willie Simmons. Now, how about that? How about that? Kane's Dolphin 89. See, a lot of people don't know that. See, I know that. So Randy Shannon, so again, I don't know now, if Coach Shannon would be a good fit. I don't know what he's doing right now and everything. Somebody probably tell us in the chat. But, again, we got guys that are on the staff that are capable of doing the job. We don't have to go get Randy Shannon. That's my point on that. We got Coach Rowe, people like that I think can do just a great job, that already know the kids. That's the thing about it, too. Because we can't stop. We got to stop overlooking the fact that these kids are holding tight at FAMU. And I really believe those kids that decommitted, I believe we'll be able to get those guys back if we got Coach Cole and Coach Coley back.
Same here. I believe it, too. That's a true legit question. Who wants to work for her? Like, that's tough. Cause like one you got the devil and the angels like don't go to her for nothing. You know she ain't really did nothing for you, but she ain't even want you in this position. Then the angel like you got to do something because you just can't make a bad relationship go even worse. So you got to come with open arms to see what you can get.
Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing. You gotta understand something. Look, I'm gonna use Coach Roll. Coach Roll is a FAMU Hall of Famer. Coach Roll loves FAMU. He's not gonna let nobody stop his love for FAMU. Cause see, you can work with somebody and not like them. So what you do is like you stay on my way, I'll stay out your way. We ought to have them type of people. You know, I ain't gonna bother you, ain't gonna bother me. I know you my boss. You tell me what I need to do and leave me alone and I'm gonna make sure I do it. I'm gonna be on time, I'm gonna produce, and we good. Man, I've been on both sides of that. So you don't have to like somebody, especially if it's something that you love. Coach Cole, I've heard so many great things about Coach Cole, that he loves these kids, that these kids believe it. Well, how about this? The kids say they want him. So that's all I need to know. They said it.
Yeah.
So Coach Cozy is like, you know what? I'm gonna do it for these kids. I love these kids. You know what? And then you just have a cordial thing with your AD. Because what you do is you tell me what you expect out of me. I need you to write it down so I don't miss a thing. And then we'll meet every week and I'll make sure I'm hitting all these metrics. Absolutely. So that's why I would move on that, man. Canes, Dolphins say Randy Shannon's at FSU. Well, somebody need to tell Randy Shannon to jump in that portal and put his resume in.
Yeah, man, sure. If you want it, man, I'm telling you, like you say, if you coaching at FAMU, it's different. I ain't saying you gotta have Deion swagger, but you gotta have some type of swagger to yourself and with your team if you gonna bust out and that rattler and the music playing and yeah, it's a whole different vibe when you come to FAMU coaching. So
Yeah, and that's a thing too, which is about FAMU, man. Listen, I sponsor Grambling, I sponsor Jackson State. I've been to Southern. I've been to Alcorn. I've been to Valley. I've been to every SWAC school. I'm talking either done business with, gone again. I know people. All people to me. I know people everywhere. Each school has a different culture. I told people when Deion went to Jackson, I said Deion's a perfect fit for Jackson State because they are country just like Deion, and they gonna ride. You talk that Black Power down there in Jackson, Mississippi, bruh. That's a God and Black Power, man. That's a winner down there. That was a winner. I knew that was a 100% thing. And you saw what happened. He had this movement. You had all these people and stuff like that. But FAMU, you got to know how FAMU move, man. You got to understand that even though we got a lot of people like me that are from out the state, that DNA of FAMU and Florida and how those cats move and how that, you got to understand that. You can't sit there and be offended when somebody say, talk Miami talk. I just put it like that. And that's the way they talk, bro. That's how they move.
Yeah.
You got to know what that means. You can't sit back. I give you a perfect how great Willie was. So Boston Richie goes in there and does that old dumb video, right? Willie up there, he knew what that country foolishness was. He's like, man, y'all don't do this stupid stuff no more, bruh. I know what that is. Willie didn't go like, oh my God, I can't believe that these guys had Boston Richie. But Willie know exactly who Boston Richie is.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah. And that whole thing, everybody was thinking, let's go to break FAMU. I said, bro, I'm going to tell you something. Willie's so unbothered by that. That ain't nothing. I said, bro, and then we ain't even at practice. We shut down football already, bro. We weren't practicing. That was nothing. I tried to tell people that. But the thing about it is because he knew his team, he knew the FAMU culture. He knew Boston Richie was part of that Tallahassee culture. Hey, man, look, that was some dumb ish, bro. Don't do that no more. But we appreciate you rocking with FAMU. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what that conversation with.
Exactly. Didn't have to go no more, no less. Like, shoot, it's been plenty of times I saw Coach Willie in the locker room wearing chains, just being one of the guys, not even being a coach, just being one of the guys with the football team. That's what a type of coach we need, just to be one of the guys and, be a father figure, be a coach, and be one of the guys. I think them the three things that you look for in a coach probably at FAMU right now because he set the standard.
But I'm going to say this, and this I will say to our football players. If a Coach Roll or Coach Cozy, allow them to coach you and allow them to coach you hard. Don't say, that's my boy. You know what I mean? Because that's how a lot of teams, you got to allow that coach to say, hey, we're going to keep this thing tight just like we had with Coach Simmons. I don't think because we got a new sheriff and y'all hooked me up, because y'all spoke about no. You're gonna be on practice on time. You're gonna go to class on time. You're gonna practice fast. We're gonna practice hard. But we got a championship standard here. So that's the thing. I'm gonna challenge the players. Keep the championship standard. Because that's another thing too that's very important. That if you do have Coach Cole and Coach Rowe and Coach Cozy, you owe them to you come with a championship mentality also, and set the standard for everybody that's coming in. Hey, this is how we do things, and we don't slack around. We practice hard, we practice fast, and let's get it. So that's really important.
Definitely. So, shoot, I ain't gonna hold you, but this is one of my last questions, man. What do you see Saturday? I know Sunday coming up, because Sunday they said they're gonna have five candidates. Where do you see these five candidates, or who do you most likely see like these five candidates will be?
I'm going to tell you this, and maybe I'm an optimist, but I believe in the end, Coach Cozy is going to get this job, because I think once all the smoke is cleared and everything, he's going to show, because he's got the pulse of the team. He's going to be able to recruit. He's a outstanding young man from what I've heard. And I think that also, if the APR, let's just say her thing is, I think Coach Cozy is going to accept that challenge. And I think he's going to say, hey, guys, we got to make sure not only are we great athletes, but we're great students. So I think in the end, I think Coach Cozy is going to be the coach. I really believe it. And like I said, and a coach role, I think would be outstanding. But I just think from what I say, because somebody said that in chat, when I saw him at that, that celebration, right? And he came out there, you could feel like it was his team. You could feel it. So I think it's his team. So let it be his team officially. Absolutely.
Definitely. Shoot, man, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Like this, I know, shoot, I had to get a little bit off the chest. I ain't get everything off because I ain't want to go ham on people. But but hopefully we can find a coach real soon, because this is like one of my things that reoccur like every hour. I'm like, hey, who's gonna be the next head coach? So hopefully we find a coach soon, and we can just leave this in the past and worry about the upcoming for next football season. And the thing about this, man, I can't even highlight on the events that's happening in sports worlds with basketball and Andrew Body going to Alabama State and all this other stuff. I can't even focus on that. I'm steady focusing on this hoopla going around at FAMU, man.
Hey man, listen, you're a rattler, and that's what you care about. And it's hard to talk about something else when something that you love is hurting. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? When you told me to come on, I said, hey man, listen, I'm gonna come on, like I say, talk about what we need to talk about. I know I have some insight that people need to hear. And like I said, man, and I'm gonna say this to my hey man, this brother right here is working hard, man. We got all these YouTube brothers, especially our FAMU guys, we got to build them up, man, because they're going to talk about FAMU and stuff like this. We don't want other people talking about FAMU that didn't go to FAMU. Scotty does a great job, but Scotty has a big meta universe of all that. But we want FAMU stuff. We got to support Bridges. We got to support the OG Strikers. Live on Sports. She does a great job with the basketball. She's a rattler too. So my thing is, man, when y'all see that notification come on, you see that pre-snap read, hey man, check my man out. You know what I'm saying? And tell your other folks. And you have a little call in, a little, you give you the little notes or whatever and stuff like that. So, they got a real good crew. So man, listen, nephew, I appreciate you, man. I'm always proud of you. You represent FAMU in a great way and stuff like that. And whatever you need, I always got your back, brother. Always.
Thank you. So in that case, I want all 84 people that are on this live, make sure you go to Bridges on Top and subscribe. All 84. I don't know where I'm at in the subscribers, but I just want to see an 84 bump. So go ahead, go to Bridges on Top. It's dual streaming, and click the subscription so you know what's what. Hopefully, I have some player interviews coming up in the next. I don't say in the next couple of weeks because we gotta figure out what's with this head coach.
Nah, man, listen, man, you gonna drop some, man. We gonna get this coach, man. You gonna get them recruits, and you gonna have a lot of, man. We gonna speak it into existence. We gonna be all right.
Yes, sir. Thank you again, Mr. Campbell. I always want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart because you didn't have to answer my phone call and answer my text, even though you do every time. So I just want to say thank you. And I hope I'm gonna see you again. That's all I know.
Oh, man,
I don't know when I'm gonna see you, but I'm gonna see you again.
Hey man, the escalator on 22 is always out in the streets, brother. We gonna ride.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right,
And
man.
shout out to the people out there. Make sure you have a good weekend. Peace out. Love.